She thought fire could erase him. One night, one match, and his life would vanish in smoke. That was her plan. But hate doesn't always end the way it's intended. Because when the flames were gone and the ashes cooled, the woman who mocked, laughed, and tormented her neighbor would face a truth no one saw coming. In the very courtroom she thought she controlled, she looked up and saw the man she had tried to destroy sitting in judgment over her. This is not a movie. This is a real story. A story of obsession, racism, power, and a shocking twist of justice that still leaves people stunned. Andre wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't someone who chased fame or attention. He was a man of dignity, a judge in Wilmington, North Carolina, respected by colleagues, admired by those who sought fairness in his courtroom. When he returned home after long days of trials, all he wanted was peace. His home was his sanctuary. A modest, comfortable house with a small garden, a porch where he could sit in the evenings, and the quiet rhythm of suburban life. But across the street lived Colleen. She wore two faces. To some, she was the HOA president, the enforcer of rules, the one who sent polite emails about lawns and fences. But to Andre, she was something far more sinister, a woman who had turned her authority into obsession. At first, it was almost comical. She knocked on his door to complain about the height of his grass. She sent letters about the color of his shutters. She even argued about where his garbage can set. Andre laughed it off. This is neighborhood life, he told himself. But it didn't stop. Neighbors whispered about how often she stood at her window watching his house. Some noticed her driving slowly past late at night, headlights dimmed. One neighbor recalled, it was like she wasn't living her life, she was living in his. The complaints turned into warnings. The warnings turned into threats. Notes began appearing on his door, scrawled with accusations. You don't belong here. You're ruining everything. Andre kept the notes, stacking them in a file. He was a judge. Evidence mattered to him. But deep down, he knew this wasn't just about rules. This was personal. Then the vandalism began. His mailbox smashed to pieces one morning. Spray-painted insults near his driveway. A neighbor's security camera caught a blurry figure near his yard late at night. The outline looked eerily like Colleen. Andre tried to live normally. He hosted family dinners, mowed his lawn, greeted neighbors. But the tension was always there. The laughter he heard from her porch felt mocking. The way her friends snickered when he drove by made his stomach tighten. And then came the worst night. It was just after midnight. Andre awoke to the sharp sound of glass breaking. At first, he thought it was a burglar. But then, the smell hit. Acrid. Burning. Smoke. He leapt from bed. Flames crawled up the walls. Curtains ignited in seconds. Heat slammed into him like a wall. He coughed, stumbled, grabbed his phone, but the fire was spreading too fast. His only thought, survive. He crashed through his back door barefoot, lungs burning. Neighbors rushed out, shouting, calling 911. Sirens echoed in the distance. Andre turned to look. His home, his sanctuary, was an inferno. The investigation confirmed it. This was arson. Someone had set the fire deliberately. Suspicion turned instantly to Colleen. The notes. The harassment. The vandalism. The obsession. It all pointed to her. Colleen was arrested. And when the story spread, the community erupted. Some gasped in shock. The HOA president? Really? Others admitted they weren't surprised. We always knew something was off about her. But nothing matched the moment in court. The day of the hearing, Colleen strutted in with confidence. She whispered jokes to her lawyer. She smirked at reporters. To her, this was just another fight, another stage where she could mock and belittle. Then she looked up. At the bench sat Andre, the man she had stalked, threatened, and tried to erase with fire, calm, composed, wearing the black robe of authority. The silence in that courtroom was suffocating. Everyone felt it. The irony, the tension, the sheer weight of what was happening. Colleen's smirk cracked. The mocking laughter that once echoed from her porch vanished. Her power was gone. Andre didn't shout. He didn't rage. He didn't even show vengeance. His voice was steady, his presence unshaken. But his very existence, seated there in judgment, was the most powerful answer to her hate. Colleen was convicted. The arson, the harassment, the stalking, it all came crashing down. Andre rebuilt. But scars remained, not just on his property, but in his spirit. Because this wasn't just about one man and one woman. It was about something bigger. It was about how hatred can fester in plain sight. How racism and obsession can wear the disguise of rules and authority. How communities often ignore warning signs until it's too late. For Andre, survival was more than escaping the fire. It was standing tall, unbroken, in the very place where she had tried to reduce him to ashes. And for us, this story asks a question. How many more times will hate try to burn lives before we confront it together? This wasn't just a courtroom drama. It was a mirror. A reflection of what prejudice can do and what resilience can overcome. Andre's story isn't just about survival. It's about justice, strength, and the truth that hate cannot erase dignity. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Like this video to spread awareness. Share it, because conversations about racism and obsession need light, not silence. And subscribe if you want more true stories that reveal the hidden battles happening all around us. And I'll leave you with this. When hate knocks on your door, will we as a society keep ignoring it, or will we finally stand together and shut it out for good?